Welcome to NFL Game Day Final presented by Mercedes-Benz. This throw from Taylor Heinicke that fell incomplete and sealed the victory for the Bucs will not define his day. Terrific effort, but the Bucs get it done, and they are moving on to the divisional round of the playoffs with a 31-23 win over the Washington football team. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to NFL Game Day Final. I am Rhett Lewis here with the five-time Pro Bowler, Steve Smith Sr. And Steve, this is the first for us, first time in NFL history. We've had a triple-header kickoff wildcard weekend. We also saw two quarterbacks make just their second career starts in a postseason atmosphere, of course, including Taylor Heinicke tonight for the Washington football team. But they were going up against the most experienced and most accomplished postseason quarterback in NFL history in Tom Brady. How do you feel about the way that Brady was able to lead his team to victory down the stretch?
Brady was firing all cylinders. He was throwing his wide receivers open, unfortunately, at times. Uncharacteristic of seeing some of the guys that the Bucs have that were dropping some passes. But Tom looked terrific and was sharp. Had a lot of zip on the ball, and pretty much when he wasn't under duress, he was doing a really good job.
So on the flip side, he's got to sit there and watch Taylor Heinicke go 26 of 44, over 300 yards. Also used his legs to get out of trouble a couple of times, extend some plays and some drives. How about Patrick Mahomes, the reigning Super Bowl MVP, recognizing what a great game Taylor Heinicke had, regardless of the outcome, which, of course, was the loss for Washington. But now as you look ahead for this Bucs defense, how does that make you feel about this team heading into the divisional round against one of the top seeds in the NFC?
Well, I was pretty vocal about the Buccaneers after they mollywopped the Detroit Lions. It is no surprise that the Bucs beat the Washington football team. The real question is, if they are playing a New Orleans Saints, if they're playing the Green Bay Packers, does a Drew Brees and a Aaron Rodgers, are they coming out with those mistakes? Are they going to leave points on the field? And the answer is no. So you have to be concerned somewhat as a Buccaneers fan because you know what's down the road. There aren't the Lions, the Washington football team. There are going to be some pretty good play, some pretty good offenses that the Buccaneers are going to have to tighten up, because we know, obviously, if there's a rematch against the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, we have to go back and look at it, examine the last time Kansas City played the Bucs, and it got out of hand very quickly and very fast, and it was ugly, and we want to assume that won't happen, but it's hard not to say that it won't happen again, because Kansas City still has the same players with the same speed and explosiveness and the creativity of Andy Reid.
Sure, and yeah, we'll welcome the Saints to the postseason party tomorrow as they get set to take on the Bears. Won't see the Packers, of course, until the divisional weekend. So a lot left to improve for this Bucs defense here ahead of their divisional round matchup, whoever it may be. But we already know that the number 3 seed is no more in the NFC. So let's take you to one of the two divisional matchups that we see for a third time this year in this wild card weekend. There you see Jared Goff was active today, 12 days post thumb surgery, but Sean McVay giving the start to John Wolford, who here scrambling and gets hit hard by Jamal Adams, shoulder to the top of the head. Neck injury would force Wolford from the game. He would be taken to the hospital, but for precautionary reasons would end up being okay. But it was Jared Goff who had to come back into the game against the team who ended up sending him to that thumb surgery. And here, though, the Rams defense showed up today, frustrating DK Metcalf. Steve, what do you think DK was dealing with here today?
Hey, big players want to make big plays in games. And that's a big player. He wants to make his opportunities, but you got to understand it's the playoffs.
Yeah,
and you can see here that DK goes in motion. They're going to run kind of their notorious screen. these guys are well prepared by Coach McVay, so they see it coming.
No question. Darius Williams said he saw this play on film 100 times, and the prep pays off. Goes 42 yards to the house for the pick six to give the Rams a 13-3 lead. Same score here, late first half. Russell Wilson escaping out to his left, and terrific throw under pressure. And finally, Steve, DK gets his due into the end zone.
He does, and you have a scramble drill with Russell. Russ is never down. You got to keep your eyes on your luggage, and when you don't, sometimes it slips through the cracks, and that's how to get a 51-yard touchdown.
Rams secondary trying to figure it out. Looked like maybe a miscommunication there. Next Rams possession here, a 3rd and 9 for Jared Goff, up by a field goal, and here comes a little dump off to Cam Akers. Watch the move that Akers makes on Jamal Adams, stays in bounds. And he's going 44 yards up the sideline, deep into Seahawks territory. 1st and goal from the 5. Let Akers, the rookie, finish it off into the end zone. 5-yard touchdown run. 176 yards from scrimmage for the rookie from Florida State. 2nd most by a rookie in his playoff debut in NFL history. Now to the 3rd quarter. Seahawks down 20-13. 3rd and 4 for Wilson, going deep. Oh, and DK had a step, but Russell was pressured by Aaron Donald, which of course might have saved the touchdown, but then trouble for Donald as Wilson kind of falls on his ribs. Donald would have to leave the game, would be a rib injury, went into the locker room, would come back out onto the sideline, but back into the locker room, never actually returned to game action. Sean McVay, no update on Donald's status there. 4th quarter here. Seahawks down 10, and they're a little late to getting to the line. End up getting a false start penalty here on a 4th and 1. Russell wanted the play clock reset, didn't get it. Penalty would then make it a 4th and 6. They'd eventually have to punt it away here. Wilson finishing with just 11 completions on the day. Was also sacked 5 times. Next Rams possession, they'd have to punt it away. DJ Reed returning but fumbling. Ball pops out. Micah Kiser recovering for the Rams. Samson Ebukam forcing the ball loose, and they keep the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands. Now Jared Goff, here you go, Steve, trying to put a dagger in the Seahawks' playoff hopes. Robert Woods with the touchdown to get it done. Rams get the win 30-20, knock it off the 3 seed. They are moving on.
2 weeks ago, you saw them smoking cigars and getting all excited about beating us and winning the division, and we're able to come up here and beat them in their own place, and it feels good. It feels really good.
The great part about this time of year is you win and you keep moving on, and you lose and your season's over. So there's no reason to have excuses. There's nothing to worry about. It's, hey, let's find a way to be the best team that we can be the next coming week and the next stop we got, and whoever we have to do that with, I promise you we're going to do it.
For him to even be able to throw the football is pretty impressive. There were a couple limitations.